Okay, so we're up to 35 exits and 32% completion for gems and coins. Welcome back. This is Arafellan playing Zeux' World. Last time, we pretty much finished off the whole continent here, with Beachwalk, Rainforest, and we did the rest of the Desertheat section. I think it was Rainforest Secret where I didn't quite finish out everything. I was missing 4 coins. But when I went back and watched the footage, I just saw that they were just on one of the railed platform things, and I forgot to go back for them. It just kept heading forward. So I went back and got those off camera. This is now 100%. Desertheat Area, though. This is the tricky one. I did some exploring and did find the gems I was missing. The problem could be collecting them because of where they were. As you may recall, this has a main path up above the sand, where all the coins but none of the gems are. And then if you drop down into pretty much any of these sand pits, you go to this weird underground zone where there's enemies, these weird pillars, springs that will spring you back up. And when I first came here, I tried dropping down off the left side of the first pillar, because I vaguely remembered there maybe being something down there. It wasn't down there, it's down here is the first one. So there's 2 of the 3 missing gems. And here, getting out can be a problem, because if you're not lined up right and aren't pushing to the right hard enough, you'll just bonk your head on the ceiling and fall into the pit instead of getting out like you need to. Let's give that another try. And I do want to start down here because this is the hard part if you... wrong pit. Yeah. I'm not sure how you're supposed to find these other than just jump down into every last pit until you find something. I mentioned at some point earlier that the game is usually pretty fair about these things. This is one place where it is not fair at all. I honestly don't know what they were thinking here. Yeah. Like I mentioned, these are pretty tricky. I'm going to give it a few more tries, and if that doesn't work, I'll just go somewhere else. Yep. There I just missed the jump. And there I jumped too far. So you want to hit just the edge of the springboard while holding right, but if you're not lined up just right, you'll either miss it entirely or hit your head on the ceiling, and either way you can't get back out. It's weirdly unfair. There. That's how you need to get out of there. However, as you recall, I was missing 3 gems, and there are only 2 there. So as it turns out, yes, there is another one where you have to drop down and do pretty much the same thing. Which means you need to do that kind of tricky bounce twice if you want to get everything. So, let's see if I can remember which one it was. Yeah, this one. I believe this was the very last pillar. Oh no, it's not that one. Anyway, you see what I mean about it being not terribly fair? Yeah. Okay, we're back here where I jumped down prematurely. I'd forgotten there are 2 sets of 2 thin pillars. And it's the second set where you jump down. Or... wait, no. Okay, yeah, there's the 2 thin pillars, and then there's the one by itself, and that's where the last gem is, along with a heart. But again, there's a... oh, I overjumped that. Again, there's a tricky bounce out. This isn't going terribly well, so I'll just go on and move on to something else for now. Okay, we're back here at the Beachwalk 2 main exit. Now, when I first got here, I kind of rushed through, went straight to the exit itself, but on reviewing the footage, I noticed the clouds here look suspiciously like a staircase. And they are. And here we have the Z for the Beachwalk area. Up in the clouds, past the exit of Beachwalk 2. So yeah, that's another Z collected. It's still... I mean, as far as what they do, that's still not something that comes up until considerably later. Anyway, moving on. We unlocked 2 entrances to the Tower of Dystopia in this area. The first one that I found was from the Rainforest Castle, so we'll start with this one. There's exit to Rainforest, and here. Catch Up Chasms. Oh, I think I remember the gizmet for this one. Yeah, you'll notice that the scrolling is weirdly slow here. Basically, the gimmick here is that you need to wait for the scrolling to catch up with you. If you go below the bottom of the screen, yeah, I'm not sure if it kills you if you fall off the bottom of the screen, but you definitely can't see what you're doing. You notice the gem blocks are coming in handy, giving us little extra platforms to land on. 16 of 24 coins, no, 0 4 gems. You have 3 Z's spinning down in the status bottom there. Yeah, and this also doesn't do a good job of showing you where to go next. You just kind of have to trust that if they're sending you... Yeah, you just kind of have to go as hard as you can. That one does not go anywhere. Okay, I think we need to keep going to the right then. Yep. Like I said, this does not do a good job of showing you where you need to go next, and that is part of the point of it. That's kind of the whole challenge of this level. Okay, there you just go straight up, land on top of here. I think these are falling blocks. Yep. So go a little bit at a time. Don't try to rush it. You do need to wait for the screen to catch up with you. It's all the coins, none of the gems. So where are the gems? There's a little rowing guy, and another one. Is it hiding behind here? No. Yep, there are several of those. Another springboard? Yep. Okay. I've not seen the gems, but there's another springboard here, and another platform to the left, so... Yep, there they are. There's not, however, springboard here. And you cannot make that jump. Huh. Okay, I may need to come back here with an additional power-up. Until then, see you at the end of the level. Okay, so I'm back at the end here. I'm just going to finish with the coins and leave the gems for later. Okay, I'm coming back to Catch Up Chasms, and I wanted to check something, because I know there is a way you can extend your jump length later on, but it doesn't sit well with me to have to come back to this if I don't need to, so I was thinking, what if I tried dropping off here without jumping so the camera doesn't go up? Will I be able to land somewhere? And the answer is no, so... Okay, that's confirmed. I will need to come back to finish this. Other than getting the gems, this is not a particularly difficult level. You just need to take your time and not rush it. Make sure the screen catches up for you. I'm going to exit here to save. And I think, from what I've seen earlier, that just leaving the tower does save your game. Okay, good. No crashes so far. Hurried Havoc. This one I don't remember. Oh, you're timed, of course. There's a new enemy there. We're not going to be seeing those until a later world, for the most part. Okay, I'm not doing this quickly, so I'll just try to find everything instead. Except there are only 2 coins and 2 gems to find. It's a little shortcut there. Going on the top would be a bit faster. Fish off to the right there. Probably a distraction, but I'm not sure. Looks like the top is the safer route here. Not necessarily faster, though. Also, the background is kind of... it hurts your eyes. It's clearly meant to do that, but it hurts your eyes. Okay, you're supposed to get here in 50 seconds to get everything. And this looks like it's where all your coins and gems will be, so it's just a matter of being fast. Okay. And notice that did not get us anywhere. That was a weird go back sign. So I believe the gimmick here is you need to beat 50 seconds to actually get an exit. So let's try to rush this. Those blocks are fake, so don't bother with them. Do a small jump there to get the shortcut. Higher jump there. Here. Don't bother breaking the blocks. Jump over the bug. Over the bug. Probably could have saved some time by bouncing to the left from the bug. But I do want to not fall in pits because that would just waste more time. Here. No problem. There's the gem. Come on. Get up there. There's extra life. A ring I don't want. There's gem. One of those pouches. Heart. So yeah, pretty nice prices if you can get through the level fast enough. I'm having trouble with the precise jumps here. There. And stage clear, 100%, all good. Now the question is, where does that go? And yeah, I should have realized from the polar bear this goes to IC cap, and the game crashed. I was kind of expecting that. Okay, as before, it did save progress, so that's good. Anyway, as I was saying, IC cap, there's a tower poking out of the ocean, and it goes to this 2-exit level. So I think I'm going to stop here for now, and then next episode go back and try the other entrance to Dystopia from the Desertheat. So yeah, this has been Airfelon playing Zeux' World, and I hope to see you next time.